Light Fresh Scent. Febreze. Breathe happy.
Now, after avoiding mirrors and photographs for years, my next guest lost an astonishing 8 stone in a little over a year. And of course, he says it's changed his life. Jay Hunter joins me now to share his weight loss journey and why he believes that making small changes can help transform anyone's life. Jay, you're very welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
Having me on the show.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. It's an incredible story. It's an incredible journey. 8 stone in just over a year. But what we might do is go back to where it started in terms of what was the point where you said, no, I have to do something about this now. It's ridiculous at this point. It's affecting my health badly.
That was it. It was earlier in 2018. It was the small mundane things, like getting up out of bed and getting dressed and having to hunch over and exerting yourself. That was becoming a problem. And I'm in my early 30s and now mid-30s. I can't be having that.
Yeah. And had you been big, or was it a gradual, you put weight on over a couple of years, or what was it? Bad eating? How did you end up at that weight? It was
actually, I was thin in my teens, and I was doing taekwondo, and that was fine, but it was just kind of an insidious gain. So over about 15 years, you just put on maybe like a quarter stone every week, a quarter pound every week, and before you know it, you tip the scales at just over 300 pounds. Like, I didn't think I ate badly, like maybe take out twice a week, but obviously I was doing something wrong.
So at your heaviest, what weight were you?
So just over 300 pounds, which is 21.5 stone.
And we're looking at photographs of you there.
Do you see I've got the mug there? I'm trying to hide behind it as well, but didn't quite work out. Yeah.
So you found yourself reluctant to get into photographs, etc., etc. You were very conscious of it.
Those were the best I could find, actually, because usually I'll only take group photos.
Yeah, you're standing behind somebody.
Exactly. So, you know the tricks. There you go.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I'm an actor, dear boy. We know all the tricks.
Yeah, I love doing Conjuring.
When you decided then, okay, I need to do something about this, did you look at various different options, or did you think was a slimming program recommended to you? How did you go about it?
I'd actually tried a lot of different weight loss programs before. I remember trying Atkins, failed really quick. Tried keto, failed even quicker at that.
Really?
But what helped was actually joining Slimming World, which is, you don't have to join Slimming, but joining a group.
A group.
Yeah. And the biggest thing about that is, one is you're not doing it alone. Yeah. And the other thing is accountability.
Do you find that was the key? Because I've spoken to people who are members of slimming groups all around the country, and they say that exact same thing. It's the fact that they're sitting down with other people who are in a similar situation and are trying to lose weight. The fact that you had support there in the room.
That's it. It's like Lost season 1 to 6. You just live together, die alone, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a group mentality. You all succeed together. If you get invested in other people's journeys, they get invested in yours, and you feed off the positive motivation.
It's a drastic weight loss, though. It's 8 stone in just over a year. I mean, how quickly were you seeing results? When you started on day 1, was it a couple of weeks you thought, this is working, I'm going to stick at this?
That's it. Like, even though it's a big change for the first 6 weeks, getting used to, like, kind of cutting down on sugar, which is difficult, okay? It's not a physiological dependence, but it's mental. But it's just getting into newer habits, and that's difficult. But in that 6 weeks, you'll probably have lost 1.5 stone or something, so it'll egg you on.
And is it just a case of small... You said earlier on, it's small changes. And is that the key to it? It's like, get rid of a little bit of sugar, don't get rid of all of it, gradually work it out, and then change something else? Is it a little series of small things?
Yeah, it's substitution diet, I guess. But if you can make a small... Like, if you made one small change every week and something that you can do and keep with, and then make another small change the next week, like if you had full-fat Coke and go to Diet Coke, or if you had butter and you can go to fake butter. Actually, just use a little bit of real butter. It's so much nicer.
Well, ain't that the truth?
Or Cork is very good.
But as you say, they're manageable changes. Don't set yourself unrealistic goals. Is that it?
That's it. If you try to change everything, you'll crash and burn. I'm the king of crashing and burning.
Yeah.
So if you can make small changes that you're happy to make, you have to want to do it. So I'd hate to want anyone to be at their lowest point to do it, but if you have something, if you can think of something in yourself that you want to change, or someone you want to do it for, like if you want to run around with your kids, or you don't want to be out of breath when you're playing with them, that kind of thing. Because
as you say, when it reaches that point where you're out of breath dressing yourself, you're thinking, no, this isn't good. This is the point where I need to start changing it.
It was more of a case as I'll go along to group, I'll see what they have to say, I'll do their plan, and you know, as men, we're great at taking orders. And,
Fantastic, yeah.
And either I'll lose weight or it'll be their fault and I can eat whatever I want. But
And are you
thankfully,
still
lost
sticking
weight.
to that plan? Are you still on the similar plan that you have been over the past 12 months?
Oh yeah, I still go to Slimming World every week. Like, I'm not done yet. Like, I've lost, well, if I didn't have dessert, I'd be 8.5 stone, but hopefully I'll come back at 10 or something.
And have you a target in mind?
Not really number as such, but if I could just be in like a medium shirt, I was that for 2 weeks when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But if I could go on like a sun holiday topless, and just, it's more confidence in yourself.
Speaking of clothing, you brought along a pair of jeans.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, which I believe is the brand name. Let's have a look at them, shall we?
Okay.
So these were at your biggest weight.
Yeah. So these are what, when I rocked in day one and got on the scales, this is what I was
into your
wearing.
slimming group, this is what you're wearing. Look at that. What size waist was that, Jay?
It's 44 with the balloon seat.
A 44 with the balloon seat. And what are you wearing now?
Oh, 34, and I'm kind of hanging off me.
Really? So you've gone down 10 sizes?
Yeah.
And what about exercise? Is that key to it as well? Do you find yourself now that you're able to? Are you getting up? Are you getting off the sofa? Are you walking? Are you exercising?
Oh, I do go to Aqua, which is just like exercising in a swimming pool, which is great for the joints. So if you're a bit older and that, and you go at your own pace, so I'd highly recommend it. But I wouldn't do it to lose weight, because actually for the first 6 weeks you'll retain water and you actually will see no loss, or maybe even a gain. But after 6 weeks, it took me full 6 weeks, lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
Really?
But I do it just to clear your head and obviously kind of toning and tightening your skin. I do it for that, but not actually losing weight.
What would you say to people who might be watching who would find themselves in a similar position? Because it's making that first step that's the hardest one, isn't it? It's the motivation. What would you say to them if they're watching you this morning?
Get external help. You don't have to do it alone. It's weird. You don't have to do this all by yourself. You don't have to be 0 to 100 in a week. Just make small changes. One thing you can do every week that you're happy to change. And maybe this time next year you will be ready.
Well, you're the poster boy for that in just over a year. Listen, good to meet you. Thank you, and continued success. Keep going.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, a pleasure. Just before we go to the break, we were expecting news of the results of the post-mortem of 15-year-old Nora Quarin. Police in Malaysia have just announced that they are postponing the press conference because it will take 2 more hours for the post-mortem examination to be completed. We'll have all the details in our 12:30 news bulletin later today. Right.